Hi guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with, I believe, the largest single day haul I have ever pulled in my entire life. Not only is it absolutely enormous, I think I've got over 60 pieces here, but it is also, with the exception of the week that I found Chanel Couture in the bins, it is the single most valuable in terms of expected resale value. So we've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Cool vintage, great bread and butter, good bolo brands, something off of my all-time bucket list. Like, we've got everything. Last week was amazing. This week, even better. But before we get started here, guys, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we have like so much to get through. I will do my best to kind of group things together as is applicable. So why don't you go get yourself a nice snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte, and we're on a small one because this is round 2 and I would like to sleep at some point anyway. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. Real quick, before we get into this absolutely insane haul, I want to take a quick minute to thank Vendoo for sponsoring this video. Now, I've talked a lot about cross-listing in my videos. Now, cross-listing is the easiest way to grow your sales and shield yourself from the whims of these companies, right? We all saw the time when Poshmark really started pushing those live shows really hard and all the closet sales really plummeted. If you're not cross-listing when something like that happens, you'll go right off the cliff with them. And working with Vendoo makes cross-listing so effortless. With Vendoo, cross-listing to multiple platforms only takes me about an additional 5 minutes per day, and most days even less than that. So writing my listings generally takes me anywhere between like 2 and 5 minutes, depending on how involved it is. The actual cross-listing only takes me about 20 seconds beyond that. But Vendoo has also been building features that take a lot of the busy work above and beyond the cross-listing bit off of our plates. And this is the kind of stuff that keeps us glued to our laptops or glued to our phone. They've got an auto delist feature, so if a sale comes through on, say, eBay, it'll detect that sale and it'll automatically delist it from any other marketplace that you have it listed on. The peace of mind knowing that you're not going to double sell something while you are out going about your day is priceless. It also has an auto offer feature where you can send a discount of your choice to interested buyers while they're still shopping. And again, this is something that is all happening in the background. You don't have to pay attention to it at all. It also has some auto share features, not to mention all of their bulk editing features that make making big changes so much easier than having to go in individually and edit each listing. I've crunched the numbers because of course I have, and Vendoo ends up saving me a minimum of about 10 hours per week. Between the time it takes me to cross-list, the time it would take me to like babysit and send offers, the time it would take me to share, not to mention it has allowed me to set my phone down from time to time. That's a thing we can do, believe it or not. But at the end of the day, I couldn't do what I do if I didn't have Vendoo working in my corner. It's kind of like having an assistant managing all of the busy work. It's the best. So guys, if you want to give Vendoo a try, click the link in the description down below and take 25% off of your first month. I know a lot of you are really intimidated by the thought of cross-listing, but I can promise you, once you finally do it, you will wonder why you haven't done it sooner. So thanks again to Vendoo for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into that haul. Just realizing right now that my nails almost perfectly match my sweatshirt. Not planned. All right, so let's start with the first thing that is like a non-clothing item. And the first thing I found was this amazing vintage Hollywood Park duffel bag. Hollywood Park was a big like racetrack complex, pretty close to like LAX. I think it's really close to where like SoFi Stadium is. And while the racetrack is no longer there, there's like a big casino there called Hollywood Park Casino. Anyway, this I'm gonna guess is like somewhere around the 60s, maybe the 70s, with this heavy duty metal zipper. But the first thing that came to my mind was like, you know that this duffel bag once carried stacks of bills. Like that was just the first thing that came to my mind. I am gonna do a Retroclean soak soon and it should actually clean this up pretty well, but I'm gonna guess I'll see somewhere, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks on this. It's in great condition other than the staining, but for me, it's more of the imagination of what this once carried, you know? Welcome to what goes through my mind while I'm out thrifting. Okay, now into the clothing. First piece we have here is this great little vintage skirt. This has just a tag on it that says dry clean only, but there's no other brand tag on here at all. But it's this cute brown tweed A-line skirt. I love these kind of vintage pieces that I like to call the gateway drugs, right? So a lot of people want to get into vintage dressing, but are afraid of being too like over the top or feeling too themed. This is a perfect way to integrate like a vintage piece into a more modern wardrobe. Something that is distinctly vintage in silhouette. It's vintage in construction, of course, but it's not too like on the nose of an era, right? Like you could wear this with something that you got at Nordstrom today and it would just be like an interesting piece that nobody else could have. But either way, for something like this with no like fancy name attached to it or anything, I'll probably see somewhere between like 25 and 30 bucks on this. Just eyeballing it, this looks to be about a size 6 and it's in like perfect condition. So cool little vintage find. Next up was this little sweater by Cobby. I think I'm saying it right this time. And you know, copy is something that I don't pick up a ton of, but I do just kind of keep my eyes out because I've had good success with some of those pieces. But something about this little sweater I just really liked. It feels very well made. I think that it's 100% cotton. I like the way that it's got that kind of trim to it. This feels like something that will sell above and beyond like the Cobby connection. I'm just gonna really be leaning on keywords. I will try to find like the item number. And if you can, you wanna make sure you put that in the listing because people will search for like specific item numbers, but I think that this is one that'll go like for the style of it. But either way, I'm gonna anticipate somewhere between like 25 and 32 on this. It's so cute and so preppy. Next up, I found this little thing, and the reason I grabbed this is that the lace felt really nice. This is from For Love and Lemons. This is a great brand you wanna keep your eyes out for. It's not as like red hot as it was a few years ago, but it still sells for like a great price. It's still definitely a higher end brand, but it's this little stretchy kind of tank toppy type thing, and these lace straps tie at the shoulder. It is well made. People do seek this stuff out, and I'll probably see like 30, 35 bucks on this, which is for something this size a great price. So great find, and it is in like perfect condition. Next up, now this is one of those things, when I get to the bins, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, I always get there first thing in the morning, so I get a shopping cart. That is a big thing in pretty much every bins location I've ever been to. Like the shopping carts are kind of a commodity. And what I'll do is I'll like kind of run past some of the bins and just, you know, dunk my hand in some bin, grab a few pieces of clothing, and you know, just throw them in my basket to show that my basket is occupied, right? And this was one of the things that I grabbed. Every once in a blue moon, I find a gem. One time, the thing that I just accidentally pulled out of an old bin was a Comme des Garçons shirt. So like, you know, sometimes the thrift gods shine down on you. But this is a new brand to me. This is from Edmunds Studios. Let me know if you guys are familiar with it. But I picked it up, I'm like, ooh, this is really nice. This kind of chunky wide wale corduroy. Turns out this is a crazy expensive brand, and it wasn't until I got home that I realized that it still had the Real tag attached to it. So this is something that is sold at the Real, and when I pulled that thread and looked at the inside tag, it's made in Portugal. It's got all the hallmarks of quality. So this was a shirt that probably retailed like $300. It's not a huge brand, it's just a high-end brand. I'm assuming it's just one of those niche brands that like, if a guy knows about it, he knows about it. So I'm gonna anticipate probably somewhere around $50 on this. It could be closer to 100, it could be closer to like 30, 35. There's not a whole lot of data, but it is beautiful, it's well made, it's got a little bit of that like workwear style to it. So we'll see. If any of you guys have ever found something from Edmunds Studios, let me know, like, what did you find? How long did it take you to sell? Like, let me know what your experience was. But very cool. And a lucky dip. I think I'm gonna call that a lucky dip from here on out. I am, after all, a marketer at my core, so I'm always looking for an opportunity to brand something. Oh, next up was this absolutely adorable little girl's taffeta plaid dress from Polo. Now, Polo, Ralph Lauren, of course, a brand everybody should have on their radar. It is like amongst the fastest selling brands that I pick up, no matter what it is, whether it's a polo shirt that I sell for $20, a little kid's dress that I'll get, you know, 25, 30 bucks for, up to something like vintage that sells for well into the $100. But really anything Polo Ralph Lauren is just kind of a sign of quality. People know it, people love it. I'm just realizing there's a little sewn logo here at the hem, but it's just, you know, again, it's a brand that people know and people love, and this is very, very classic. This is the kind of thing that somebody can buy, their kid can wear one Christmas, they can sell it the next Christmas, and this can go on for, you know, decades. The only bummer about this is that it is missing the belt. And the funny thing is, when I looked up this dress, the belt was just a black grosgrain ribbon. Now, my humble opinion, I would rather do like a navy blue ribbon on this, but I think this will sell quick. Belt or not. Again, I believe somewhere in that like $25 to $30 range. Next up is this super cute retro style dress. This is from a brand called Stop Staring, which is one I've never heard of before, but it feels very much like a ModCloth or a Unique Vintage or a Hell Bunny or a Voodoo Vixen. It's got that same kind of fabric. And again, in that classic like black and red, it's got the flared out skirt, very retro silhouette. Any kind of retro dresses like this are a pickup, and generally something I would feel very comfortable paying like regular thrift store prices for, because I pretty reliably get somewhere north of $30 on these no matter what. With my experience being, I get somewhere between like 30 and 60 depending on brand and size and color and desirability and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, any kind of retro dresses, I'm grabbing. Next up, I grabbed this cute little Bowden dress. Now this to me feels very cookie cutter Bowden. The color, the print, the silhouette, everything about this feels exactly like when I picture a Bowden dress. This is exactly what I picture it to look like. This is the older tag, not necessarily a big deal when it comes to something that looks like this. This is a size 6P, which is interesting because it doesn't look too terribly short, so I'll just have to make sure to get measurements on it. But for something like this, I'll get somewhere between $25 and like $35 pretty reliably, pretty quickly. The petite thing might slow it down a little bit, but it's in great condition. And again, just quintessentially Bowden. I wish I saw more Bowden out here. I really do. It is one of those brands that people just know, love, and feel very comfortable buying secondhand. Next up, we got a classic oversized linen popover shirt. This is from Banana Republic. Again, I don't pick up a ton of Banana Republic, but a classic linen popover, I'm on board. It's a size medium. It's made in India, so you know that this linen is really nice. It's in perfect condition. Again, somewhere probably 25 to 32 on this one. A perfect bread and butter piece that will almost definitely sell nearly immediately. I have not kept any Banana Republic linen in my hands for more than like 2 weeks. So something to keep your eyes out for. Obviously mind your costs. Banana Republic, you're generally not gonna get a huge resale price, but if you're getting it at like, you know, $3.99, $4.99, I'd still probably be in on something like this. All right, next up, we've got this cute little dress. This is from Princess Polly. Now, Princess Polly, I don't pick everything up from. I'm pretty selective, but their little cocktail dresses tend to do pretty well for me. This is 150% the kind of brand that I would only touch at the bins. They're not super expensive retail. This probably retailed for like $49, and I'll get somewhere around $20, but I will probably get that $20 fairly quickly. It's just this cute little like light sage green with a little slit, kind of lingerie-y style. Very, very cute. Let me know, do you guys pick up Princess Polly at all? Do you do it only at the bins or at like bins-like prices? Is it something you pay up for? Is it something you keep your eyes on to see if there's something that's gone viral? Because for sure, there will be pieces that go viral because this is a company that seeds out to influencers quite frequently. Let me know. Let me know what you do with Princess Polly. I'm very selective, only ever at the bins or at bins-like prices. Ooh, next up. Now this is a Bolo brand for sure, and something I do not see all that much at all, and that is Buck Mason. Buck Mason is a fantastic menswear brand. If you are not aware of this brand, get it on your radar. Very unassuming stuff, very, very, very high quality. They tend to be kind of like workwear adjacent styles, but they're all about just like quality workmanship, great high-end basics, and they're very expensive. Something like this I will probably see somewhere between like $40 and $60, and I have no doubt, this is a size medium, I will see that within days. I don't think I've ever had anything from Buck Mason, and I'm talking like plain old t-shirt up to like a shacket. I've never found anything more substantial than that. Everything sells super quickly. It's just a brand that guys know. They know their size in it. They know that they like it. They know that they don't want to pay $200 for a shirt. So it tends to sell very, very fast. As always, my running theory with men on resale sites is that the men's market, until you get into like fashion, is way more brand driven than the women's market. Because men in general, obviously this is a gross generalization, don't like to browse. They're not trying to express themselves through clothes. They just kind of know their style. They know the brands that they like. They know their size. They get in, they find their brand, they find their size, they get out the same way they do in a mall. Obviously there are exceptions to the rule. Obviously when you get into like the high fashion level, that is completely out the window. But in general, for stuff like this, brand matters so much more in men's clothes than it does in women's apparel. Oh, next up, this was such an interesting thing. So this was a cute little sweater. And the first thing that kind of struck me was it felt very Y2K. It's got these bell sleeves. It's got this kind of baby doll silhouette. I don't know if you can see the change in the knit pattern there, but it's really like beautifully done. It's got a little tie back. Like this feels like something I would have worn in the winter in 2001, right? So I look on the inside because it feels so nice. And sure enough, it's 40% Midal, 30% wool, 20% Angora rabbit, and 10% cashmere. So I'm like, oh, that explains why this feels so lovely. And the brand on this is Spick and Span, which is a Japanese fashion line. And this is one of their lines called Impressions de Paris. Now, I have to do a little bit more research because they do kind of capsule collections. That's what Impressions de Paris is. It's a pretty expensive brand in Japan. It's a pretty well-known brand in Japan, but popularity hasn't necessarily crossed the ocean. So I'm interested to see if this is something that moves more because of like the Y2K style of this, or if it's something that moves because of the brand. Either way, I think that this has a lot going for it. I wish you could feel how unbelievably soft this is. This knit is a total dream. And the shame of it is it's black, so I know it's not going to photograph very well. I will do my best, but hopefully I'm able to rehome this fairly quickly. And I would imagine that I'll see somewhere like $30 to $45 on it. I think that this was close to $200, $250 when it was new, but I'll have to do a little bit more research on the brand and their sold comps and really make an educated guess, just because it's not something that there's going to be a ton of data about. So I'm going to have to take in that like style-based data and the brand-based data and make a best guess. Because honestly, like so much of what we do as resellers is making our best guess and learning from the results, right? Next up, I grabbed this and I might keep it for myself. This is a great little throw blanket. And like, to be clear, I need another throw blanket like I need a hole in the head. Anybody who has ever been to my house knows how many blankets I have stashed. I'm a blanket girl. I am unashamed. I love my blankets. But this is from the Company Store, which is a great brand. This is where I get my pillows in case anybody is in the market for some really good down pillows. They're not cheap, worth the investment. In my opinion, one of the best investments you can make for yourself. But the Company Store makes really good, high quality stuff. This is organic cotton, super soft gray with this like little lattice stitch. If I decide to sell this, and honestly I might because I don't really have much in my house that's gray, so this will stand out like a sore thumb, I'll probably see like 40 to 50 bucks on this. From the Company Store, this was probably about $200. Again, really high quality stuff versus something like a parachute. The Company Store is based more on like the fillings, right? So they're known for their pillows. They're known for their down comforters. They're known for that kind of stuff. And they also sell sheets and other bedding and stuff like that. But their real core competency is the pillows, is the like the filler pieces of your bedding. The thing that I like the best about them, if you know what I'm talking about, you will totally get this, is that like I'm a down pillow only girl, but if you just go and buy down pillows, they can be very, very flat. So they have different densities. So if you're like a side sleeper and need something a little bit firmer, you can still get a down pillow that's got a little bit more fill to it. It's amazing. Please treat yourself. You sleep a third of your life, so please be extra kind to yourself while you are sleeping. Do not cheap out on your bedding. Next up, I found this funky little hat. This is from Catalina, the island right off the coast of Southern California. This is very 90s, and that's the reason I picked this up. So it's a little bit of a tech fabric. I like the back of this. I'm gonna do a little bit of research to see if I can figure out what this closure is called. This feels like it would go a little bit in the Gorpcore world, so I'm not quite sure. I mean, vintage hats have sold very well for me, so I'll be interested to see how this does, but it's got a lot going for it, right? It's got that kind of like nautical rope thing. It's got the flat brim. It's got the soft crown. It's got that really funky back. So TBD. I mean, most general vintage hats will get me like 20, 25 bucks. There are absolutely some hats that are selling for crazy dollars. Like I just saw something about these hats. I want to say that they're going for like $100 to $200. So, I mean, if that's something you want to get into, that kind of inventory is going to be everywhere. So it's worth spending a little bit of time digging into like what people are really looking for in the vintage hat world. But for me, anytime I see something like this, I'm going to grab it only at the bins, with some rare exceptions that I would be happy to pay up for at the regular thrift. I think that this was like, yeah, this was like $6 at the thrift store. So I would not be paying $6 for this, but at the bins all day. Next up, I know a lot of people don't touch bras. I do. I'm extremely picky about my bras. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, ooh, that's wok hole. I know this bra. I've had this bra. I've not had the one without the wire, but I've definitely had the wired versions of this, and it's fan-freaking-tastic. I do not cheap out on my bras. I will spend all day on the perfect bras, and I will shout that from the rooftop. But something like this retails like 80 bucks. It's a size 40 double D. So especially when you find those unusual sizes and the larger sizes, these can go very well. I'll probably see, I mean, I'm not gonna see a ton for this. This is not like it's a Agent Provocateur or one of those super duper high-end brands, but I'll probably see, 25, 30 bucks on this, and no doubt it'll go fairly quickly. Everybody's looking for a soft bra these days, understandably. And if you're in the market, check out the Walk-Hole bras because they are great and worth every penny. Next up I found, this is the first of, I think, 2 pieces from Marine Layer that I found. This is a cute little gauze striped tiered maxi skirt. These kind of things, again, Marine Layer is kind of now in like that higher end of bread and butter territory with certain exceptions, but their stuff is amazing. I love their double gauze. I have 2 of their double gauze dresses. I live in them in the summer. They are so breezy. They're well made. The gauze feels like it's gonna hold up for a couple of years. If you've ever had super cheap gauze, you know what I'm talking about. It can pill really easily, but something like this, I'll probably see again that 25 to 32 range, right in that higher end of bread and butter. And no doubt this will sell quickly because 'tis the season for skirts like this. This is something that I'll also be kind of double dipping in my keywords with like the boho world, but I'll also do like beachy and resort wear and swim cover up and beach skirt because this kind of goes in both of those categories. Always be on the lookout for the opportunities to kind of double up on your keywords, right? As we always say, reselling is a numbers game, and the more eyeballs on your stuff, the higher a chance of it selling. Next up, oh my goodness, I found this beautiful vintage linen dress. This is from Beck Munich. Anytime you have German linen, I'm on board. This gives me a little bit of like Miss Honey vibes. And if you don't know who Miss Honey is, you should go and read Matilda, because it's one of my favorite books from when I was a kid. She was just like a very sweet English countryside teacher, and this gives me teacher dress vibes. It is like a heavy gauge linen. It's red, it's maxi length, it's in flawless vintage condition, and this bodice is all embroidered. I don't know if you can really see the details. There you go. It's a size 34, which I believe is about a size small. This dress in this condition, like this style of dress, is going to appeal not necessarily to somebody who dresses in that like log and look style, and more to like somebody younger who dresses in that like cottagey grandma core kind of style. This is in incredibly good condition. I think that this is vintage from the 90s, and I will probably see somewhere like $40 to $50 on this just based on quality. Like this is unbelievably made. And this linen is so, so nice. But like, if I see anything like German and linen, I'm in. No questions asked. Next up, now this is another little red piece. There's no tag for. The only other one that I've been able to find online also didn't have a tag, so I have to do some research to see if I can figure this out. But this is a silk top. Look at that detail work. These little bows here, the first thing that came to my mind was quill work. Have you ever seen quill work? I'll put a picture of what quill work is right here, but that's exactly what this reminds me of. Like the handwork on this is beautiful. It's red, it's silk, it's long line. I think that this is vintage, maybe from like the Y2K era, but no other tags on the inside, and you can kind of see where the tag was cut out. It looks like this was something that was like a miter fold tag, so that's at least a clue. But with something like this, I mean, the brand is truly gravy. Like this is something that I picked up for the style and for the style alone, and I will put a little bit of work into seeing if I can figure out who made it, because that can increase the value, but inherently, just because of what this is and the style, this will move. It's funny, I talk a lot about brands here, but in like probably 75% of the cases, the brand is gravy. So for something like this, I'll probably see $30, $35 like at a minimum. And that price might go up if I'm able to figure out who made it and if that brand is a brand that's like extra desirable. Either way, like just gorgeous. Oh, next up, this is a little bit of a mystery, another Y2K thing. So I pick up this little sweater. It's like a sweater vest. This is very indie sleeves. We've been talking about that a lot recently. It's a vest and it's got a very long drape front. One of you guys came in and was like, if you're looking for the perfect example of indie sleaze, it's Jenny Humphrey who in Gossip Girl, and that's played by Taylor Momsen. So if you're looking for an example of indie sleaze, that's a great North Star. But the brand on this is People's Liberation. Now, I was there with a couple buddies and we were trying to figure out what we know People's Liberation from. And one of my friends was like, oh, they were Anthro. And then we remembered that no, that was Daughters of the Liberation. When I got home, I remembered that People's Liberation is like the People's Liberation Army. That's like the Chinese military. Hello. But I do think that this was a brand that we saw like on celebrities back in like the late Y2K era. It's really well made. It's got a very faint tonal design on the back. I don't know if you guys can really, actually you can see it a little bit better on the camera than you can in real life. But something like this, I think will sell very, very quickly. If you guys can remember what we know People's Liberation from in terms of that like late 2000s cultural zeitgeist, please let me know because it's still not coming into my head. Obviously, if I can remember it, I'll put it down below. But I will probably see like 30, 35 bucks on this, maybe a little bit more. We'll find out. But it's definitely a brand that has a very like rock and roll vibe to it. So I'm so interested to see how fast this moves. Next up, this is another like 2010s anthropology piece. This is from Poshmark. I think that's the name of this brand. That's this logo. I know I've bought things from them before and I never knew what it was. The main reason I picked this up, I think this is so cute. It's just like a little cotton dress and it's baby doll style. It's ever so slightly high-low. I just think that this is a really cute like beach dress. Now it's a size 2, so it is one of my friends' size and she's very like this girl. So I might offer it to her first. I think she would look adorable in it. But if she is a 4 right now and she's not fitting in a size 2, maybe I'll move it. If I do end up selling it, I mean, probably somewhere in the like $20 to $30 range. It's in like perfect condition. I just think it's so cute. And I like in the back, you really need to have this like on a body to see how that kind of crosses, right? So it just kind of crosses across the back and it has this nice little like inverted pleats. So it's got extra floaty fabric in the back. Anyway, very, very cute. Something again, hopefully that will work for my friend. If only it was blue. Like she's more of a blue girl than she is a pink girl, but she is also still a pink girl. She's the one that I like to refer to as a living sequin. That's for her. Next up, this was an interesting one. So this I grabbed just because it felt so nice. This is a sleep shirt. It's like a boyfriend style sleep shirt and it's from the Pillow Bar, which is another brand that does pillows, as you can tell. Maybe I'll check them out the next time I replace my pillows, but it's got a little embroidery here that says my favorite room. It's just, again, oversized, white, crisp poplin nightshirt. But either way, if I do end up selling this, probably, again, somewhere between 20 and 35. Seems to be a pretty high-end company, so I'm interested to see how this would go. But it is so, so nice. So if you are somebody who loves a crisp nightshirt, check out the Pillow Bar. Who knew? I'm always here to learn about new sleepwear brands. And while this is not like a new brand in any way, shape, or form, it's new to me that they actually do sleepwear. So very cool. Okay, next up, I mean, I can never resist a fully beaded tank top. First of all, how gorgeous is this? This is so like subtly glitzy. I'm so here for it. So MLV is a name that I have found once before. It's Mayrin Lee Vinay. Very high end. I don't know where they were sold. I don't know much about their design house, but the other piece that I've had from the same designer was also like very uniquely sequined. The sequins kind of look like stone. They were like a gray and black model. Just, I've never seen anything like it. And same with this. Look at the way that that's beaded. It's really interestingly done. It's like one pearl, one mini sequin, repeat in a line. It's got the most beautiful drape to it. It's 100% silk, fully lined in 100% silk. It's a size medium and it's kind of cropped. I think I'll probably see like 40 some odd dollars for this, maybe somewhere a little bit more, but it is in flawless condition. And again, it's just that really interesting beading. So for something like this, I will of course try to get as many pictures of it as I can that like accurately show the shape. I will also get a lot of close-ups. One of my things that I always advise people to do is if you have a lot of details, especially if you're dealing with like a darker color that tends to absorb light and doesn't photograph as well, get up close on those details and show people like what is unique about it. The amount of things that I see that where people only use stock photos or people only do like a front and a back shot, like get up on those details, especially if you're selling something like this that has a ton of details, because people want to see what they're paying up for, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Let me know if you've ever found anything from MLV or Mayron Lee Vinay, and let me know what it was. Was it also all over beaded? I'm just like obsessed with this. Oh, next up. Okay, so this is something that I bought for myself, but it's something very important to talk about. So I saw these vintage Calvin Klein overall cutoff shorts. So these will hopefully be for me. The shame of it is when I bought it, the little like tab was off at the tip of the overall clip. I just ordered a replacement set from Amazon, so it should be here within a day or so. But the important thing to talk about is 90s vintage CK jeans. They are running at a hot premium right now. When I'm saying a hot premium, I'm saying that you can probably easily get $100 for a pair of 90s vintage CK jeans. And this was the label. Like, it was very distinct. If you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And oh my God, I just turned this over and some things fell out of the pocket. So let's see what they were. Okay, so we had a tube of Aquaforce. That'll go right in the trash. And a little heart necklace. This feels like costume jewelry, but you know, pocket treasure. We're always here for that. So guys, keep your eyes out for vintage Calvin Klein jeans. I'm hoping that these fit me. If they don't, I'll sell them. But I loved my Calvins, and I wish I could find a pair that fit me the way that my pair in the 90s fit me, because I wore them like every day. All right, that's one bag down. Next up, I'll do these two together. This is 2 cashmere sweaters from Charter Club. I'll pick up Charter Club cashmere all day long at the bins. So one is this really pretty like fuchsia color. It is pilled like you would not believe. This will take me 3 minutes with my depiller to get back to new. And this beautiful burnt orange color, again, unusual colors. This one is a small, this one is a medium, and I'll see probably $30 minimum for both of these. They are very classic silhouettes. They're just like that slim fit crew neck, both other than pillage in like perfect condition. So, you know, I always say I'm not going to be surprised if these don't sell until fall, but the reality is I sell cashmere all year long. I will be selling cashmere in the dead of August. You wait. But for any cashmere, it's generally that $30 minimum. And that obviously goes well into the hundreds depending on brand. But for your basic, like everyday cashmere, $30 really at a minimum. Next up, this is a shirt that I have picked up multiple times in different colors from 2 different brands, and they always sell well. This is one of those rayon silk velvet shirts from J. Jill. This velvet has the most beautiful drape. It feels like silk velvet. It's a size medium. It's in this gunmetal gray. I will probably see like 25 to 32 on this in no time flat. Anytime I've ever had one of these shirts, it sells very quickly. I think that they might have a little bit of a cult following. You know, if I have to guess, it's because they fit and feel like a very comfortable thing, but they look special because of the velvet. And the blend for the velvet, it feels much more expensive than it actually is. So keep your eyes out for stuff like this. I pick it up anytime I see it. It's something that I comfortably pay regular thrift store prices for, because I know I'm going to be able to turn it around and flip it pretty quickly for a solid price. Oh, next up, this is a pure style base pickup. This is from a brand called Unique 21, which I've never heard of, and I think it's pretty irrelevant. The reason I grabbed it is because it's this very voluminous sheer organza overshirt. Sheers, if you guys watched my runway style report that I put out back in February, if you haven't, I'll link it down below. That's basically going over like the fall winter runways. Sheer was everywhere. So stuff like this, really kind of like structured oversized pieces, but done in these light as air fabrics, are huge. Something like a column skirt, which in any other fabric could feel very heavy and almost like an anchor on an outfit, but done in a fabric like this, it gives it a whole new flavor. So again, pure style-based pickup. Keep your eyes out for these like organza pieces, because I think that this will sell in no time because of what it is. Brand is completely irrelevant. When I looked it up, it looks like Unique 21 is similar, at least in like price point, to something like a Zara, maybe a little bit more upmarket. But again, I don't think it's gonna be the brand that sells this at all. Perfect example of something that I would buy with or without a label for the style alone. Next up, I grabbed this adorable little knit crop top. This is from Caroline Constas. It's a brand I think that she sells on Revolve, but pretty high end in general. It's a super soft rib knit and it's got this kind of crochet style, but it's super cute. And this I think retailed around like $195. She's very, very pricey. And I'll probably see, you know, somewhere $30 to $45 on the secondhand market. This has a lot going for it. It's a really good color, this like ice baby blue. It's got the kind of crochet detail. It's very preppy. It's kind of cropped. It's like a silhouette that people are looking for. This should sell fairly quickly. It is exactly the right time to find something like this. But definitely keep your eyes out for that label. Her stuff is pricey. Next up, I've got a little cache of baby clothes, and this one was given to me by Irene from the Opal Hanger over on Whatnot. If you are on Whatnot and you're not following them, you should give them a follow. They are the best people. And she found this beautiful little, I think that this is a christening dress. It's definitely vintage. The brand on this is Little Folks by Gifty, something like that. It's 100% nylon. But like, look up close on that little pattern. Isn't this so darling? The pleating is beautiful. We were trying to figure out like when this was from. I'm guessing probably 70s, maybe 80s with the nylon, but I could be wrong. This could be considerably older. So I'll do a little bit more research on it, but isn't that just the most darling little dress? Oh, so cute. And beautifully made. Like these pleats, you could tell that this was stored safely. In fact, I'm going to put this back there to continue that trend. And then the other two pieces that we found, and I know that there was a third of the casual wear that I put back, and I'm kicking myself for not grabbing it, but these I think are probably early 80s. Little vintage Carters with a little snail on the front. So cute, that guy. And then this adorable little pair of overalls, which I do think is also Carter's, but the tag is cut out. I mean, from a practicality standpoint, there's no snaps. So this is distinctly not easy in, easy out, but just the most adorable little thing. I think I'll probably see like 20 bucks a piece for these two guys, and maybe closer to like 30 or 40 for that, because that is a very like special occasion thing. And I think really beautifully made. A little bit more research has to be done. Oh, next up, this is one that I grabbed because it felt incredibly made. There's a lot of things about this that I really liked. First and foremost is the fact that it's this like old school schoolboy style with that trim on the lapel, with the trim here on the pocket. This is giving a little bit like Tom Brown to me, a little bit like Angus Young meets Tom Brown. This outer is 100% wool. And when I went looking for the label, I opened it up and I found that. So one of the things that I'm always looking for is like an unusual label attached in an unusual way. What that tells me is that the designer is like particular about the way that the branding is displayed. This isn't something that the designer like picked out of a book, right? The designer on this is Peter Hahn. Seems to be a bit of an upmarket designer in the UK. Again, the designer kind of didn't matter for this. The big thing for me was the style and the fact that it's wool, right? So that's all I really needed to see. And I just love this. I'll be using preppy and old money and schoolboy and all of those kind of keywords to get this in the front of the right eyeballs, because I don't know if the brand at all is going to carry it. I'm feeling this, and I actually think that this trim is real suede. That's wild. Absolutely beautiful coat. Doesn't this look like Tom Brown? Absolutely one of my thrift bucket list designers. Just a gorgeous piece. I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. Maybe somewhere like 40 to 50 bucks. Maybe a little bit more, but very, very cool and very on trend. Oh, next up, this was a cool piece. So this is a really fun skirt. This is giving me like all the Log and Look feels. This is like a very soft mesh outer layer, and it's got a soft jersey underlayer with like an acid washed fold over waist. The brand on this, and I'm interested to hear if any of you guys have ever found something from the same designer, is Paprika, which I really wasn't able to find much by. The size on this is 5. I don't know if this might be 5X. It also might be something that's like 2X, maybe 3X. I'll just have to like do my best in terms of guesstimating based on measurements, but it's midi length. It has that very like Log and Look style to it. I'm gonna guess I'll see somewhere like 30 to 40 bucks on this just based on style. It's super comfy with that fold over waist. It's super soft, like this net is super duper soft, and it's definitely a vibe. It's definitely a style. So let me know if you have ever found anything from Paprika. Let me know what you know, because I was not able to find much. I will do more research, but in my cursory search, which is usually pretty solid, I found nothing. But again, I don't think brand really matters there. I think that that's a style sale all day long. Oh, I did find one more kids piece. Totally forgot about that. This is the most adorable little baby ski sweater. Designer on this is Doe Spun. Washable, obviously vintage. It's 18 months. So cute. Again, something I'll probably see like $15 to $20 on. There was still an additional piece that I left behind, and I'm kicking myself for not grabbing it. It's not that often that you find really good condition vintage baby stuff. And some of it can go for a crazy price. Like if you find any vintage Mickey stuff, any vintage like Sesame Street, any kind of vintage like branded stuff from like the 80s or earlier, and some Disney stuff into the 90s, like big dollars. I sold a little pair of 1990s Mickey overalls, and I think that I sold those for like $47. So like, don't disregard baby stuff. For me, it's really something that I'm only playing in if it's like high-end, handmade, or vintage, but do not discount that on the vintage market because they can sell for a great price. Guys, I take breaks while I'm filming this because my camera starts to overheat after X amount of minutes. I'm still coming off of this. So in this last break that I took, I watched the Tiny Desk concert of the Broadway revival cast of Ragtime. First of all, if you don't watch Tiny Desk concerts, you should 100% put that on your list of things to watch. They have, you know, emerging artists. They have all different kinds of musicians come in. They also have Broadway casts come in. And in the revival cast, Joshua Henry plays Colehouse Walker Jr. I will link it down below. Please treat yourself if you are in any way into Broadway. I'm trying to gather myself because I cried and my eye makeup probably looks terrible. So anyway, I'm a little choked up. That's what's going on. Please watch that immediately after this because the world needs to see that talent. Oh my God. Anyway, like I still feel the heat in my eyes. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, I got this beautiful dress. This is from Civico 51. I don't know if this is particularly a high-end brand, but it's one of those made in Italy. I think it's kind of a boutique-y style brand. The reason I got this is that it's brown eyelet. Color of the summer, great easy wear. It's a size small. It's in great condition. Something I'll see somewhere between like 20 and 30 bucks on, and I have no doubt this will sell quickly. Eyelet in brown is not something you see very often, so I think that alone will move this. It's, again, easy breezy. It's not tight fitting at all. Something that you could just throw on and go and still be like pretty interesting. Cute little like bread and butter type find. Next up, I found a couple linen pillowcases. Again, something I might keep for myself. There's no brand label in this, but they feel pretty nice. I'm gonna guess that this was part of a set. There is a second one somewhere in here, but without a brand label, I'm gonna guess I'll see probably 20 bucks for the set if I don't end up keeping it or gifting it to somebody that I know. They are standard size shams. I might be able to track down who made it just by this trim here, but even if not, it's a great little set and it'll either work well for some of my pillows, one of my friends' pillows, or if I sell it, again, somewhere in that $20 range. Unless I can identify it as some very high-end brand, but typically the high-end brands will have labels sewn in, so. Next up, a little standard James purse t-shirt dress. I've sold this dress before like 3 times, and it usually sells for like, I don't know, 40 to 50 bucks. This is something that is like a little bodycon skirt with a shirt that's meant to fit kind of like slim but not tight. You know, it's meant to kind of look like a 2-piece set. This is the kind of dress you throw on like a cute little pair of white sneakers and go. This, I think one of you guys had said that Jen Aniston is pretty well known for wearing a lot of James Purse stuff, and I'm almost positive I've seen her in this dress. But James Purse, wildly expensive brand. This was probably $350. Always really good quality cotton, really well made. This is not the kind of like t-shirt that's gonna fade really quickly. It's not the kind of slub that's gonna have holes in it really quickly. Like, he really does basics with like the best possible ingredients, and that's where he stands out. This is a size 3, which I believe is a size medium, or a size large. I always have to double check. But again, somewhere in that $40 to $50 range all day long. This should sell in no time flat. Next up, this is one that I'm gonna keep and give to my husband, but this t-shirt is from a brand called Plenum Studio. And the reason I picked this up is because this feels about like the nicest t-shirt I've ever had my hands on in my entire life. The cotton is so nice. It's like a heavier gauge cotton. It's kind of that boxy fit. This I think was like a $115 t-shirt. Plenum Studio is based out of London, I believe, but the designers are Danish, so they consider their style very like Copenhagen meets London, and that tracks for most of their stuff. But Plenum Studio, guys, keep your eyes out for it if you're in the market for like a really high-end t-shirt, or somebody in your life is in the market for stuff like this. Take a look on the secondhand market. It's a small enough brand that I don't think it resells for a crazy high dollar amount. I'd probably see somewhere 20 to 25 bucks if I went to resell this, but the quality is fantastic. So if you know somebody who's really picky on t-shirts, give this a try. Plenum Studio. Honestly, something I grabbed because it just felt so nice. Next up, this is another thing that Irene from Opal Hanger gave to me. They know I love the weird vintage stuff, so I told them if you are ever out thrifting and you find like weird, cool vintage stuff and you're not gonna get it for yourself, please just, I will give you American dollars. Please grab it for me. This is a cute little girl's kind of pinafore style dress set. This is handmade for sure. Beautifully made. 2 separate pieces as well, right? So this completely comes off. It's nicely finished on the inside, right? Like typically a lot of times when you see like handmade pieces like this, you'll have a lot of like raw edges on the inside. This is made by somebody who knew what the heck they were doing. I'm gonna guess 80s. This feels very like Holly Hobby era to me, if that makes sense. So like late 70s, early 80s. And these kind of dresses, I don't know where they're going, but they sell very, very well for me. Even in these kind of like big girls sizes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like older child sizes, you know, so I don't know if they're going to like a costume shop for a theater or something like that. But either way, this is so well made, and I'm very excited to get this out of the waste stream and back into use. And no doubt this will sell quickly, and I'm gonna guess I'll probably see somewhere north of 50 bucks for this. It's just so cool and so well made. I'm gonna guess that this is probably about size 11 or 12 for girls. Little leg of mutton sleeves and everything. Whoever made this did a beautiful job. They knew what they were doing. Guys, we're getting there. Next up, I grabbed these because they felt just so nice. This is a pair of sweatpants from a brand called Rich Mom. I had never heard of it. It is apparently the brand of an influencer named Tinks. I don't know who this is, but that is what the internet told me. And it looks like they retail like 70 or 80 bucks for the sweatpants like this. This size large, I'm pretty sure that they're 100% cotton. They certainly have the weight of it. And sold comps on these are between like 25 to 45 depending on color and style. So I'll have to do a little bit more research to make sure that I'm pricing these accordingly. But yeah, this is totally something that I picked up because it just felt really nice. And I've had really good results using that set of criteria with sweats in the past. So we'll see how this does. Let me know if you're familiar with the brand. But yeah, we'll see how they do. Next up, a cute little top from Maeve. This is just a really lightweight cotton sleeveless button-down number with this pretty embroidery here on the placket. It's a size 2, so it's a fairly small size, but with it being summer, it's got a little bit of like a Western flair to it. I have no doubt that this will move fairly quickly. I'm gonna guess for something like this somewhere 20, 25 bucks. Get a load of that embroidery though. Isn't that so pretty? These kind of things from Maeve do always sell fairly well for me, which is great. Plus, it's 100% cotton, which is always great for this time of year. Next up, a great little pair of Aritzia Little Moon wide leg double gauze pants. These are great beach pants, easy summer pants. They're a size medium. That is the label. Easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for here. That is one of the Aritzia house brands. I was pleasantly surprised when I got home. I mean, this is something that I'm going to grab knowing that I'll get like bread and butter 20, 25 bucks for it. But these pants in particular, and maybe it's like a timing thing. Maybe it's because it's like peak time to buy stuff like this. Right now, these particular pants have sold comps in the like $40, $50 range. So that was a nice surprise. And again, just a little brand to keep your eyes out for. I would definitely double check and like do a sold comp search. If you're seeing this in the regular thrift store, just make sure that the profit is there for you and the speed of sale is where you want it to be. But good quality white gauze pants I'm probably going to pick up from almost any decent brand, just without batting an eye. Next up, I grabbed this cute midi dress. This is from Classy Network, which is such an interesting brand. When I first learned of this brand, I actually thought it was kind of scammy. Their whole thing was the brami, so like the tank top with a built-in bra. And they all have kind of the pockets for the cups, and you can order the cups separately for, you know, whatever size your bust is. And I gotta say, they're well made. Their stuff is great. I don't love the name, but this is a classic square neck midi bodycon dress. It's a size extra small, so that might slow it down a little bit, but their pieces have sold quite well for me. I do like everything they make is like fully lined. Like that's part of what the little cups go into, but they tend to keep the lining all the way throughout, so it makes the pieces feel a little bit more substantial, which is nice. But yeah, something like this I'll probably see somewhere 30 to 40 bucks. On the tank tops, you'll see 20 to 30 bucks, like without batting an eye. And it's probably not something that your thrift store is jacking up. So it's a pretty safe bet. If you've been in the market for something with a built-in bra that's not like a shelf bra that's gonna give you the uni boob, check out Classy Network. I think you'll dig it. Also, Uniqlo has some nice built-in bra tops, but I do think the ones from Classy Network give you a little bit more like separation. Anyway, good stuff. Oh, next up, I love this top so much. So this is from Kobe Halperin. And in fact, we were talking about this name. How do you pronounce it? I pronounce it Kobe Halperin. I like knew somebody growing up with that last name. And Irene was saying that she always called it, I think it was Halperin or Halperin. Let me know how you say it and if you know definitively how it is said. But either way, it is this stunningly beautiful floral silk shirt. But the real special part, oh my God, these sleeves. They are bell sleeves to start with. They have long fringes. I am about this. This is a size large, I believe. And I want to say that this retailed like $800, extremely, extremely high-end brand. I will probably see $100 to $150 for this top. And honestly, if this was like solid black or like a solid navy blue, I would keep it for a wear or two. Just for these fringes. I mean, how much fun would this be to wear? Keep your eyes out for this designer, guys. Gorgeous stuff, but like these sleeves are the things that dreams are made of. I love them so much. Okay, next up. Who's ready for the Reba McEntire concert? I'm ready for the Reba McEntire concert. Look at this amazing vintage leather jacket. I mean, this is so 90s country. I cannot even handle it. It's like a longer blazer style. I was messing around with this in the bins and my friend told me that she found basically the same jacket but in a cropped version the day before. This is the kind of thing, I don't think this was a particularly expensive leather jacket. It doesn't feel like the best quality leather, but this is something that somebody will buy to wear for like a costume or for like one night. I don't think that somebody's buying this to wear this as like their everyday jacket. I mean, right down to the way that the sleeves are cuffed. You know the woman who wore this in 1994. It was your friend's mom. She was no nonsense. You know exactly who this woman was. Now, I will probably see somewhere like 40 to 50 bucks for this. I have no doubt this will sell fairly quickly just because of what it is. But my God, the laughs that we got just finding this was worth it, even above and beyond the sales price. Happy to be saving this out of the waste stream and to get it at least a few more wears. Oh, next up, this was kind of a fun thing. So I grabbed this because it looked so familiar to me. So this is a Turkish cotton robe. There's no branding on the inside other than it says 100% cotton and made in Turkey on the back. So like right off the bat, you know that it's good quality stuff because Turkish cotton is amazing. And when I was searching for this, it looks like it's something similar to what like Tabitha Brown once wore. I don't know if it's the same thing. The print certainly looks identical. To me, it looks like the sleeves on hers are a bit wider, but I don't think that that necessarily matters. This is kind of like an evil eye protection design and it is hand painted. So I think that like with those things alone, this will probably go for somewhere around like 30 to 40 bucks. It's in great condition. It has the belt, which again, in the bins is always a real treat. It's not sized. I'm gonna guess this is probably like a one size fits all thing. So it'll fit up to like a large, extra large. Yeah, very, very cute. I mean, this is something that I'm just kind of picking up for the style of it. and I think it'll sell quickly. Again, something that I will use all of the robe keywords, also all of like the swim cover-up keywords, because 100% that's something that I would like bring on vacation to wear poolside. Oh, there's that other pillowcase. And speaking of pillowcases, I found another set of 2 pillowcases. This is from Victory Symbol, which I've never heard of before, but again, French linen. I don't want to pull them out because they're like nicely folded in here, but I believe that these are king or queen size pillowcases in a cute little gift bag. I'm not familiar with this brand, but French linen is always intriguing to me. Again, I'll probably see somewhere 20 to 30 bucks at like a minimum for something like this, especially because it's probably brand new, seeing as that it's still in the little bag. You know, if these were pulled out and used, this bag probably would have been like lost to the ether. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I never see these little like containment bags together with the set. Great color too, that I like. Next up, another little Cobby piece. Again, something that just felt special. This, I believe, is the newer tag for Cobby, and this is just a red all cotton eyelet top. Just something unusual, definitely like a statement piece with this bright red. A bunch of pieces in eyelet in interesting colors today, right? But little puff sleeves in perfect condition. This feels like it's never been worn. Again, I'll guess probably somewhere maybe 20 to 30 bucks, maybe a little bit more. Again, I'll have to dig to see if I can figure out the item number, see if this is one of the pieces that's in like really high demand. More research to come on this, but I'm very, very selective with what I pick up from Cobby, and I've left probably 99% of what I've seen behind over the last couple months, but 2 pieces in 1 week is very unusual. So we'll see how they do. Next up, this is a men's piece. This is from a brand called Maison Article, which is, I believe, a house brand of Shoe Palace, which I think that's just like a local LA store. It's like a sneaker store where you can go and buy like limited drop sneakers. You can also buy some streetwear. You can also buy some like Nike gear, etc. But I think that this is their in-house brand. Again, something that doesn't really matter. This is like a granny square style shirt, and these kind of shirts for men sell so well for me. I'll see somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks. And between like the silhouette, this is the silhouette that every guy's looking for, that kind of like wider, almost a little bit cropped silhouette with the dropped shoulders. This has everything going for it. It will sell in no time flat. I'm gonna guess I go in with like cabana shirt, camp shirt, resort wear, all that kind of stuff. Men's resort wear just sells extraordinarily well for me. This is one of the things where brand doesn't necessarily matter. It's more of a style thing in that resort wear vertical. So this is the kind of thing, at least for right now, that are definitely worth paying regular thrift store prices for, because it's going to generally be a very fast sale, and it's going to be like at least a solid sale up to like an incredible sale, depending on brand. But something like that, you're going to get squarely in that bread and butter and up. Next up, I've actually sold this exact shirt before. I think I actually sold this exact shirt to one of you guys, but it's worth talking about. This is an Urban Outfitters shirt, and we know that I don't pick up a ton of Urban Outfitters, but this in particular is what they call their souvenir shirts. And they have quite a few of these, lots of different designs. I don't know if there's like a collectible aspect to it. Every one that I've ever had has sold very, very quickly. I just think that the style is so cute with the freshly picked. This is like embroidered across the back, and on the front pocket also embroidered. I'll generally get somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks for something like this, and generally these sell in like days. So I need to do a little bit more research on them because they have sold so well. I would love to know a little bit more about like if there's specific ones that are more in demand or whatever the case may be. But if you see something like this that has this silhouette, you should consider picking it up. Obviously do like a comp search, but I think that this is a pretty safe bet even at like regular thrift store prices. So cute though, isn't it? Next up, another cute little marine layer piece. This is kind of like a pencil skirt with like rainbow pinstripes, which I absolutely love. This feels very not marine layer to me. You know what I'm saying? This feels like kind of a departure from their typical stuff. It's a size small. It's got a little bit of like a kick out, so it doesn't sit super flush underneath the buttons. And sold comps on this are in that like $20 to $30 range. So that's what I'm anticipating that I'll get. Like I said, marine layer has come down a little bit in resale value, but the quality is still there. I really love their pieces. That's a good thing for me, but still definitely a solid seller. They still do a lot of advertising online and something that still has the demand there. I think it's just a little bit more saturated as they've been around for a few more years at this point. So cute, isn't it? I'm a sucker for a rainbow pinstripe, apparently. Oh, next up. Now, you know I've never met a burnout velvet that I don't love. This is from Floreat, which is an older Anthro brand. I don't know if they're still selling Floreat, but I wasn't about to leave this behind. I love this style of shirt. I think it's so flattering and so easy to wear for women. And it's got these nice wide sleeves. It's got the most beautiful burnout colors. I love this vibrant pink background with this kind of like mossy green on top of it. I think it's so pretty. It's a size medium, fantastic condition. It's a silk blend. It's a viscose silk blend, so it's got that kind of luxurious feel to it. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll probably see somewhere north of 30 bucks for this. I'll have to do some research to see if I can find some sold comps, but this is something that's like a special shirt. It's a flattering shirt. It's an easy to wear shirt. It's something you can wear to a dinner where you're gonna like pig out, you know, and not have to worry about it being like too tight around your midsection. I'm about those pieces, but yeah, somewhere north of 30 bucks I think for this, just if for nothing else than the burnout velvet of it all. I'm such a sucker for a burnout. Oh, next up, this was a brand that I had never heard of, but I picked this up because it felt really nice. And the brand on this is Lola Australia. Definitely a label to keep your eyes out for. This probably retailed like $300. Very, very, very pricey brand. Obviously out of Australia. I think that their pieces are made in India. Yeah, made in India, 100% cotton, just really high quality cotton pieces. Now, obviously their dresses are like the more in demand pieces, but even for something like this, I'll probably see somewhere between like 40 and 60 bucks. Their dresses are reselling like in the $60 to $100 range. Some of them are going over $100. Very, very pricey, but this, again, just something that I picked up because it felt so well made and this cotton felt so, so nice. So let me know if you've ever found anything from Lola Australia. It's a new to me brand. Like, I'll swear I never go to the bins without learning one or two new brands, like every time. But a great little find and a great label to add to our watch list. We are almost there, guys. Just 3 to go. And 3 absolute bangers, if I must say. First up here is another For Love and Lemons piece, which 2 in 1 day. This is a beautiful black lace midi dress. So it's got a little V-neck and it's fully lined to like mini length. I think you guys can see that. And then it's got 2 slits down the side. And this lace, I mean, this is the difference between like a cheap dress and a really expensive dress. Like this lace feels solid. Like this doesn't feel like something that you're gonna like catch a ring on and have it like pull apart. This feels like sturdy. It's got some stretch to it. It's got a beautiful eyelash trim there at the end. It's a size small, and this is probably something that I'll see somewhere north of $100 on. This same dress has sold comps between like 80 and 160 bucks. I think the ones that are at like 160 are brand new with tags, which is totally understandable. But just a gorgeous piece, a label to keep your eyes out for. Again, it's not as red hot as it was a year or 2 ago, but it's still definitely a brand that is selling and selling for a great price. I'll tell you, this day was so good, guys. We haven't even gotten to the bucket list piece. I'll save that one for last. Although this one might be a bit of a bucket list piece for me. This is from Marith and Francois Gerbeau, who I absolutely love finding this label. I believe that this is vintage. So this top here is like wool suiting. It is an asymmetrical hem with this sheer panel down at the bottom. To me, this feels specifically like the stuff that Yohji Yamamoto does for Ground Y. One of the parts of my bucket list is to find not just a Yohji Yamamoto piece, but also find one from all of his sub-brands. I've already got Y3, so that's checked off, but there are several more that I need to get my hands on. And this to me has that vibe. It's a size 32, so it's like a size large. This might fit me. And if it does, I might not sell this, or I might try to get like 1 or 2 wears in before I do sell it. Sold comps on similar skirts are like 100 to 160 bucks. And I have no doubt that I would get that in no time. Just this style, despite I think it being vintage from probably the 90s, is very in right now. The asymmetry, the sheer, the monochrome of it all, everything going for it. But I am very obsessed. And the coolest thing is, I don't know if this is showing up on camera at all, the way that the bottom point is constructed, it's constructed to kind of stand out a little bit. There's a little bit of like an architectural detail to this point, and I am just here for it. I love this so much. I'd say talk me out of keeping this, but like talk me into keeping this. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll wear this at least once. I can't help myself. And then finally, this is the one that I checked off of my bucket list. There was a big bin that had a bunch of blankets in it, and I pushed one of the big blankets off and I saw this label staring out at me. This is a first for me and a check off of my bucket list. This is Double RL from Ralph Lauren. If you are unfamiliar with this label, please get familiar with this label, memorize it, sear it into your brain. Do not pass it by. This isn't necessarily Purple Label, which is kind of like the Ralph Lauren collection that goes into the stratosphere. This is kind of like the one step down in value, and everything about this label is very like Western workwear adjacent, you know, so you'll have a lot of like great rugged denim, like double knee denim, or you'll see chore coats or barn coats and that kind of vibe. It has that very like Western workwear feel. Obviously beautiful textiles, beautiful construction, very classic, but like kind of interesting styles. Like if you look at this looks like just a regular button down, but if you look at the placket, right, it's got the little detail down here, and where it goes into the hem, it kind of curves. So there's a lot of like little detail like that in these kind of shirts. Also, like, look at the shape of that pocket. It's just unusual, right? Like, it's left of center. It's something a little bit different. I mean, right down to the way that it's curved on the top, right? Like, it's just those little things, those little design details that set it apart from like a similar shirt that you can get at Macy's. I will probably see somewhere around $150 on the secondhand market for this, and no doubt this will sell in 2 seconds. It's a size large. It's a great color. It's a size large. It's a great color. If this is something that is like particularly sought after, there are certain pieces that are like, you know, more viral than others. I don't think that this is, but it can go well north of that. But on average, stuff like this from Double RL will sell between $100 and $200, depending on size and color and all that kind of stuff. And they sell very, very quickly. This is the kind of thing that would retail probably $300 or so, and people are collectors. So please, once again, sear this into your brain if you have never seen it before. Let me know your Double RL finds. What did you find? How much did you sell it for? How long did it take you to sell? I want to know about all your wins. But guys, that is it. That is the largest haul I've ever had. Like I said, I think that there's about 61 pieces here. Now, granted, the pillowcases counted as 2. It doesn't matter. This is the largest single day haul I have ever picked up at the bins. You should have seen me walking out with my 2 like hulking bags just teetering to my car. I was a vision, right? But in terms of retail value on all the pieces that I found, I'm sitting at about $10,000, which is incredible. And in terms of resale value, I'm anticipating somewhere between $2,500 and $3,000. So again, aside from the day that I found Chanel Couture at the bins, which has completely thrown off all of my data, and I have to put that disclaimer in every time. But aside from that day, this is the most valuable in terms of resale value haul that I've ever done. Unbelievable day. Also, vibes were high. All my buds were there. It was, like just one of those days where the magic was evident. But guys, thank you so much for hanging with me through all of this haul. I know it was intense. Thank you for nerding out with me about all of these things. It just warms me to the core. I just love knowing that there are other people out there that are nerds about this stuff too. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey, but without further ado, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful week. I hope you check something off of your thrift bucket list. If you do, please let me know in the comments. I want to know. But happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.